kitchen today. We're making Tropicolata cheesecake bites. And the first step is to assemble the crust. I'm using a miniature pan for muffins. I'll be able to get 24 in each pan. I've sprayed them and now I just need to assemble the crust. So the first step is 1½ cups of vanilla wafers that I crushed in my food processor. And you can see the consistency is a very fine crushing. It's almost powder-like, but I like a little bit of texture. To that I'm adding a cup of shredded coconut. If you really want to go through the work of baking your own coconut and shredding it, feel free. For me, the stuff out of the bag works just fine. So I'm going to blend these two ingredients together, and to it I'm going to add 1/3 cup of melted butter. This is what is going to bind everything together so that when it chills in the refrigerator, it'll become that really great crust that we all love. So now that our crusts are done and they're in the refrigerator chilling, we're going to start working on our filling. This filling is a pineapple cheesecake, and the first step is to mix our sugar with 2 packets of gelatin with 1/2 cup of sugar. And I'm just going to mix this together. I'm in a small saucepan. The heat is on a low heat. And to this I'm going to slowly add 6 ounces of pineapple juice. I'm going to go a little slowly at first to make sure that the dry gets incorporated without any lumps. And stir that around. Oh, it's kind of slipping. So I'll slowly add this pineapple juice, and we're going to heat this until it looks clear. The look of it being clear is going to indicate that the gelatin has dissolved. There's nothing worse than Jell-O or something with gelatin in it that still kind of has that grainy texture. That means we didn't take the time to make sure that it dissolved. In fact, I'm going to turn my heat up a little bit, maybe to medium-low, and it's just kind of a waiting game right now. So while I am keeping this moving, if you will look at the other side of the kitchen, I'm going to demonstrate different ways to separate an egg. Once this gelatin is clear, I'm going to take 3 egg yolks and I'm going to beat them in my final mixing bowl, so that's why I have a large one out. So while I was explaining that, if you'll take a look, we now have a clearer color to this mixture of gelatin, sugar, and pineapple juice. And that's about the look that we're going for. So I'm going to turn my heat down, let it rest just a little bit, being careful, that it doesn't burn. And I'll demonstrate those last 2 ways to separate an egg yolk from the egg white. So here I like to put an egg yolk in a separate bowl so that I know that there's no surprises inside the egg. So there's my 1 egg yolk. So, the way my grams taught me, you open it up and you hold this part in your hand and then flip it upside down, and you can see that the white has just gone through my fingers, and I can put that good egg yolk in. The other method is to have a clean break between the 2 shells, and you just kind of do like a rockabye back and forth. And then pop that one in. So now I have my 3 yolks, and I'm just going to give these just a quick beating before I add in my warm gelatin. So this really now is nice and clear. I don't want to cook these yolks, so I'm going to keep the yolks moving, and a little bit at a time add the warm gelatin. You do not want to scramble these eggs. Once I'm done with this process, this is going to go in the refrigerator and chill, and the gelatin will cause it to solidify, harden a little bit, and we'll use it in the rest of our filling. So our our gelatin has cooled a little bit, and you can see how it's thickening up. It still has that great yellow look to it. And while we were gone, I whipped some egg whites, and I love doing that in the sink, by the way, because then all of the splatters are there, they're contained. I've also whipped 3 packages, 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. And I am going to slowly add that to this gelatin. As you can see, everything is now thoroughly mixed together until it was a smooth consistency. And actually, I also added 1 teaspoon of rum extract and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And with my egg whites, I'm going to slowly fold them into this mixture. This is going to give a real lightness to the filling, and I love this. Isn't that cool? Oh, so I'm going to use my whisk attachment because I want to maintain that really smooth consistency. Once I'm done with this, I top them off in my crust and let them chill until thoroughly set. This is the look that we want. You can see the egg whites have made this light and fluffy, lightened the color, lightened the texture. And I can't resist. I have to make sure before we set it up, that it tastes great. Yeah. It's light. I can taste that meringue. I taste the sweetness from the pineapple juice. And we are ready to set these babies up. These are lychees. My neighbor grows them. They're really cool. And I'm going to talk about them on the blog a little bit. But I wanted you to see they have this pink, really thick, crusty outline that kind of smell like a grapefruit and have the texture of a grape, and I'm using them in our topping of tropical fruits. So I'm stirring together 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and that's going to be our thickener for our topping for our tropical colada cheesecake bites. Oh, they're going to be so good. So I'm adding 1 cup of crushed pineapple in its juice. And I'm going to blend these together. You can see the cornstarch and sugar is going to lighten it up a little bit. And now here's my big over-the-top mixture. I took 10 of those lychee fruits that you saw, pulsed them in my food processor until it was almost a liquid. I added 2 bananas and 1/4 cup of coconut, and I blended it together, and you can see it's this really thick, great topping. And all of these tropical flavors, the coconut, the lychee, the banana, and the pineapple, is going to give this great Asian tropical taste to our pina colada cheesecake. Yum! The topping is on our bites. Oh, look how great! That just lifted out. And I'm going to make a plate because we have friends coming over tonight. And I made an additional pie. This filling is great for a number of things. And you can do little mini bites, or you can do a pie plate, or you can do a 9x13 pan, and this recipe fits whatever the occasion is you're needing this dessert.